Hey guys, before we get started, just wanted to say happy Ramadan, happy Easter to all those who are celebrating religious holidays at the moment. Supercoach has been rough, but being around family and everything that comes with that has always been very important to me. And this week's kind of been a bit of that. Before we get started, just wanted to say 50% of people who are watching our videos aren't subscribed. So if you love the content, just smash it. Smash that big red button. Let us know in the comments, hey, Big J, I've subscribed. Really helps us out, really helps to get the message out there and gets our channel noticed, which is kind of what we're looking for. If you haven't already, jump in on our live shows as well. It's Monday at 7:30 and Thursday at 5:30. So try and have a special guest on every episode if we can, just talking about how the team went on Mondays and looking at the teams when they drop on Thursdays. So hope you enjoy those guys. Round 4, mate. If you looked at the thumbnail, Big J went up. I'm happy. Went up in the rankings. The team looks a lot different than it did round 3. I know I was tossing and turning with a few challenges and few players I was to bring in. One of them I brought in has now been suspended, which isn't great. It isn't Jared Witts, which is fantastic. I dodged Doherty, which is great as well. I knew he was kind of a flop. And I love when I make trades and the percentage and the amount of points I score goes up versus the players I traded out. I did bring Rory Laird in, which isn't a great thing. I paid kind of what you'd consider overs for him, but it is what it is. And yes, drink whenever Big J says it is what it is. Saw one of the comments last week. I think this week is the last week before before DPP happens. So grab your DPP players as much as you can. Sheasel and Zeeble if you don't have them. But heading into round 5, mate, it's a rough one. Kind of, what do we do? One of the things I've really identified at the moment and talked about on Twitter, talked about with my friends in the Discord and other people as well, is how many rookies we don't have to downgrade. It's a huge problem that we've got. Huge problem, kind of what we'd consider going into upgrade season. Those that were a bit more frivolous, like Shaq from the Discord, who didn't bring players who are overpriced, who've got a bit of money in the bank, are the ones that are really going to do well in the next few weeks. I wonder if people are going to have to start bringing in dead rookies just to actually have someone to downgrade to, because we just don't have players. It's Wednesday. Corey Werner, sorry, the guy from Sydney has been announced. Hopefully there's a couple of others, maybe Corey Wagner from Freo as well. But we don't have that influx of guys who just missed out on round 1, who ended up playing round 3 or round 4 coming into the bubble. I think Van Ruin's probably the only one. Samson Bryan, if you've got him, if you're thinking about him. A lot of people are even jumping on Max Michelini from Adelaide. It's rough. At the moment, it's rough. But hopefully some players come out and we can start making those crucial upgrades that we want. Getting those 40s, 50s, 60s off the field, especially in the defense, with a lot of people have got players in there that are scoring those, and actually coming out and having some players to upgrade. Let's check out the team. This week we went up. So we actually jumped up 13K ranks, almost 14K, with a score of 21.48. I still haven't been able to nail a captain score, which really sucks. But when we start doing that, could have made 2,200 this week pretty easily. Hopefully it ends up working out. The team value is great as well. It's not as high as a few other teams I've seen, and I think that's going to end up being a big worry. Generally, when you go into Supercoach and you start doing your upgrades, your final team's supposed to be, 12.5 to 13 million, or even higher in a lot of cases. This year, I think we're really going to struggle. So you've got to be really frivolous with the money. Maybe grab an Oliver if you can at a higher price and upgrade from a Cogs or someone potentially. But outside of that, we're really going to be struggling for money. I'm not sure exactly what trades I'm going to do this week, but I'll show you how the team's going. Hopefully, we can make this number go up into the 30Ks next week, which would be fantastic. The content creators, mate, DR's getting smashed. Spills is getting smashed. Joe's doing worse than me at the moment. There's a lot of us who are really struggling. So good job for you guys. The ones who are in the top 10K, you guys are doing really well, carrying the flag for us this year. Now, the team, it looks a bit different, Big J. I went this week, Rory Laird, because I thought, hey, he's playing in Adelaide. And then Jordan Dawson pops out the 173. Rory Laird's a bit of a worry. I brought him in. I think I paid $660 or something for him with a lowish break even. He just hasn't been performing. A 102 average is the same as what Goulden's been doing. Heck, Setterfield has had a better average for owners than Rory Laird. How depressing is that? Rory Laird, mate, what are you doing? I went Rory Laird, and then I thought Rowan Marshall is playing nobody. Rowan Marshall comes in and gets managed in the fourth quarter. Boy, oh boy, I cracked the shits. But it's another week, I think, like round 2, where my vice captain ends up scoring 1 point more than my captain. So if you got more than 100, you're doing a lot better than me this week. If I had picked a Nick Dacos, a Dawson, heck, a Bontempelli, who else? Sheasel, Taranto, all these players would have done so much better for me as a vice captain or a captain option. Even Sean Darcy, mate, who might be a captain option versus no wits this week. Jordan Dawson, 173, really happy. Dacos, 151. Will Day, brought him in, made me 50K. Hopefully he only gets 1 week. Hawthorn's going to challenge the ban. I don't think he'll get off. Was a bit of a dangerous tackle, but we'll take 1 week and just field one of Wilmot or Cowan. Jinby, 40, pretty crap. Ran with Oliver for most of the week, most of the game. We were hoping to be able to get him to 350K. I'm not sure it's going to happen anymore. But we'll see. McKenna's done well, 86, chugging on there. Gets to 350K, we'll be very happy. I think he's still got a negative break even. Just on the 81. I think that 40 or 50 odd is still in his cycle. So when that goes out, that will jump down again. Liam Jones. Come on, mate. What is this 45 nonsense? He's probably the one to go for me for this week. We'll see what happens. I'm going to show you guys my trades in the live stream tomorrow. So you have to jump in for that. 5:30. Let's go. Wilmot and Cowan. I had both of those guys on the bench. I had someone loopholed with Constable. I didn't like the scores. I went Constable and Jimby swap, so I got him on field, and he ended up scoring less than those two. Supercoach is funny sometimes, I tell you what. Rory Laird, as I explained. Bontempelli, 122, pretty good there. Tom Green is one who I'm really worried about. His scoring's dropping down quite a lot. I know GWS didn't play the best game. Cornelio sucked ass. Kelly, I think, was the only one who actually did well in the whole team. Congrats to the owners who have him and who brought him in. He's doing really well for you. So Tom Green might end up being another swap as well. Hopefully we'll have enough trades. I think we will to be able to do a few injury swaps. Remember, I want to try and have 3 trades per player to be able to swap. And at the moment, with 8 or 9 swaps, we can definitely do that. Plus a lot of injury swaps as well. Goulden, 102, still chugging along there, which is great. Forward keeper at the minimum. Setterfield, 87. So if we have a quick look at him, he is break even of 85. So potentially he could even go down in price. It's a really big worry. I didn't grab him at 300K, but I did kind of in the second price rise, which is okay. But he's not going to make the 500K that I think a lot of us owners were hoping that he'd be able to do. I don't see it happening. It might be a Setterfield plus a Baker, or a Setterfield plus a Wilmot, or a Setterfield plus a Caminiti to a premium. Grab someone 600K in a couple of weeks if you can, or even next week. Just go one up, one down. As I said in the intro, it's just the rookies who we're really waiting for to come in. DPP will really help because it allows us to shuffle guys like Wilmot into the midfield, Sheasel and potentially Zeeble to the back line. But just have to wait and see with that. Where are we up to? Hopper, mate, I don't know what happened. This guy was on 50 to 60 points at halftime and ended up scoring a 75. So hopefully there's no huge injury. But similar to Setterfield, we want more points. We want more money. Yes, an 87 average is okay. Yes, he's probably priced at a 450 and we're getting him at, 360K. So it's okay right now. But he is going to tank. He's going to stall in cash gen. He's not going to be that guy we can upgrade around 5 and 6 like we had hoped. I was hoping for 100. We didn't get it. Hopefully this week. Who are they playing? Hopefully this week against Sydney, he can do all right. Ashcroft, 75, still going. Mackenzie. So I think I had, similar to the other players, I had Baker loopholing. I thought Baker being named in the middle would, give him a good score. 47, I wasn't happy with. Ended up moving Mackenzie on field. 49. I mean, come on. If Will Day goes out, I think Mackenzie should hopefully get some more scoring there. So this week might be a good week for him. I was considering trading him out. He's probably the most expensive of our rookies and someone who is getting a lot closer to that break even. 1 or 2 more weeks, maybe we can get a 300K out of him, but it doesn't look good. Hopefully there's some players we can downgrade to around 500. Potentially Mackenzie and Oscar Baker with some cash equals a Tom Stewart or something in a couple of weeks, which would be bloody fantastic. I wouldn't complain about that. Darcy, nice to have a bit of a bounce back. I know I was considering trading him out. So another 100-plus score. He's versing a nobody this week with Wits apparently out. So hopefully he does well, especially in a smaller ground where there's going to be a lot of stoppages. He does all right. And Frio's getting better, having Luke Jackson playing as a midfielder instead of playing as a ruckman. We've already spoken about Rowan Marshall. It sucks. I wish I had English. Should have started English, but whatever. Josh Dunkley. He's someone who... Did Brisbane get beaten? Let's have a quick look. No, but I think they shared around the points a lot more. I rate Collingwood's midfield, and I think he kind of just got stalled a little bit from that. He doesn't really cop the tag just from the congestion type of gameplay that he plays. But yeah, it is a bit of a worry. I've seen some people saying, let's trade Dunkley before he tanks in cash. I'm like, mate, he's probably still F1. Maybe Darcy Cameron or someone comes back and really messes him up. I don't think McRae is going to get DPP, so there's not someone really to challenge him at that 104 average. Taranto is doing it at the moment. Rosie's getting there, but still F1 to F6. So keep him in your team, boys. Don't be silly. Taranto 114, pretty happy. Rosie 84. Sheasel 111's fantastic, and Chandler 59. I don't know who this player is here. I can't read it. What's the name? Really poor scoring. Okay, cool. We've established that player's name's really poor scoring, and I don't like him in my team, and I wish I didn't have him. So, yep, that's his name this week. Chandler, 59. Cosy Pickett's come back and a few other players as well. So, I don't think it's going to tank his scoring as much. I rate West Coast's backline against the Smalls. So, I think that's why he got shuttled a little bit. Van Ruin didn't score well either. A few of the Talls did, but those two didn't. So, really kind of a watch and see. Hopefully that 59 doesn't tank his scoring as well. I think it's almost brought him back to a positive break even. Oh, very, very close. So it sucks for the people that actually brought him in because I know a few of you guys did at 200K. It is what it is, but it's not great. Caminiti, 64, really good as well. And Fergus Green. I know a lot of people were considering going Van Ruin or him to Van Ruin. That 73 has really, really changed a lot. I knew it was going to happen. I've talked about him being the Rochelle of this year, kind of someone who kicks a lot of behinds and then gets a couple of goals, goes from like a 30 or a 40 average up to a 70 for a week. So keeps that cash gen going, which is what we're looking for. As I said in the intro, rookies to downgrade to a really big problem. I think there's only one. I think Samson Ryan's another one as well. Outside of doing trades this week, I'm kind of waiting for team sheets a little bit, waiting for some ideas for things to do. Mitch McElhaney might be a swap for Liam Jones. I know a lot of people are doing that. I'd love Oliver this week. I'd love to be able to offload a Setterfield and grab a Jack Siebel in that forward line. North missed out on Griffin Logue and Ben Mackay last week and the week before with Mackay. So when Jack Siebel has to play that kind of lockdown defender role or key defender role almost because he's really the second tall in that back line, he struggles. His scoring doesn't go as big. But when he's got free roam, he does fantastic. The only problem is Mackay potentially taking some of those points away from him. But if Zeebel's half back, I really don't see it happening. Mackay doesn't take kick-outs. Zeebel's fantastic at them. And Sheasel should keep up scoring as well. So grabbing those two, moving one of those to the back line, I think is really the play this week. If you can afford it, of course. Without changes, I'll show you guys my changes next week. But without changes, I think Sean Darcy VC will be fantastic against Ned Moyle. And then moving down to the finish line. Wow, there's no betting for that game. That's a bit interesting. I might even keep the Marshall C. Actually, no, where's Dacos playing? Dacos is a freak, Adelaide Oval. Come on, man. I think it's hard to pass up Nick Dacos. So Will Day's there. He'll end up getting swapped for probably Wilmot with the lower score. Wilmot there. So 21.45 before trades. It's all right. No complaints. Guys, let me know in the comments how your teams went. Who should I pick for captain and what did you guys score this week? Who are you picking for captains? Remember, we've got our live stream coming up tomorrow at 5:30. We might even have Swizz from Supercoach Insider on there. I've messaged a few other people as well. So we could have a bit of a game. This week is another week where Thursday to Sunday. So make sure to get your trades and things in now. apologies again for being late. Here at the Centre Bounce, we do the hard work so you don't have to. Bye for now.